You know what's the root cause of all the problems? Ego. Ego is said to be the anesthesia that makes one never realize the pain of being a fool. People in power, when they have ego, can create problems for the regular folk. But when the regular folk are smart enough, they can break through the dungeons of those ego and come out victorious. Here is a lovely story that tells you the same message. Long, long ago, there was a king who picked up an argument with a peasant when he was walking through the fields. The argument came down to a very heated exchange of words. And when finally the peasant did not agree to what the king had to say, the king asked his servants to lock the peasant away in the dungeons. As the poor peasant sat there in the dungeons, counting the days he was left, he heard a voice through the pipe that paved way for the water from the dungeons to the rest of the world. It was his wife's voice. He responded to her, asking, how was she? She started crying unbearably and pleading that what can she do to help him? The peasant immediately told her, now that you are here, I can definitely escape. This is all I want you to do. Find the finest silk thread. Then find a little heavier cotton thread. Then find the heaviest thread that you can find. And then get the most hungry and energetic beetle that you could find, and a drop of honey. She ran back, found all the things as fast as she could, and came back to the dungeons. She stood at the same exit of the pipe and told her husband, I'm here. Now tell me, what should I do? So the peasant told her, tie the silk thread to the beetle, then the cotton thread to the silk thread, and the rope to the cotton thread. Now put the drop of honey on the nose of the beetle and leave it at the entrance of the pipe. Now the poor beetle, having sensed honey, thought that she was ending up at the other exit into a honeycomb and started rigorously flying its way through the tunnel, carrying the silk thread, which in turn carried the cotton thread, which in turn carried the rope. And finally, the peasant would get hold of the rope, and using the rope, he could escape from the dungeons, which were supposed to be the most toughest to break from. When the king got to know that the poor peasant could manage to break through the most secure dungeon, it was not just the dungeon that was broken, but his ego as well. The king apologized to the peasant. So friends, ego could create problems, but being smart could always help you get through them. That's the story for today.
From team building to inclusion, from sales to innovation, from knowledge management to change management, storytelling is a framework, an architecture, a philosophy that positively disrupts your organization. To know more about how you could leverage the power of storytelling, write to us at storylabsindia@gmail.com or give us a call on 636465 5354.